A couple of years ago, I was leading a large-scale infrastructure project with a very large team, very talented team, incredible experts, a very sophisticated, very switched-on client. And yet I had felt as though there were things that I couldn't shift in the position that I was in. And we were asked to, sort of half jokingly asked to basically repeat the grueling year that we had just gone through. Now, I'm somebody who is absolutely drawn to a challenge, don't get me wrong, but that moment when I realized that we had gone through a very tough year, we'd come out with some incredible milestones and achievements, and yet I felt as though I could not do that to myself or my team again in that exact format. And although I'm sure it wouldn't have been the exact format, I was sure that actually the things that needed to have shifted weren't exactly the project's fault. There were certainly external factors at play there. And I felt as though even though I'm in a leadership position and we've got a very talented team and very talented, very respectful client, I didn't feel as though I could make the changes necessary whilst in that position that I was in. So for the last couple of years, I've been on this journey, I guess, of discovery to kind of find out what it is that I should be doing to shift things in the right direction so that leaders who are in the position that I was in wouldn't have that same sinking feeling when asked to lead a project through significant challenges and out the other side. And part of my process of discovery, I guess you could say, was the idea that I needed to find my voice and find what it is that I could really bring to the situation to really shift things in a meaningful way. And I knew that leadership was something that felt very natural for me, but I had never taken the time out of the projects that I was working on to really analyze and understand what it is that was working and what simply wasn't. And I certainly hadn't looked outside of the profession to see what other leaders were doing and other experts in other industries were saying about some of these leadership issues and how to deal with complexity. So as I was discovering my voice, I realized that actually, and I was reading lots of material and lots of books, I was absorbing a lot of information. I realized that there really wasn't anything out there that certainly resonated with me. There's certainly lots of project management books out there, and there's certainly lots of leadership books on the market. And you can go and search for anything you like, but it didn't resonate with me, and I couldn't see how the puzzle pieces were coming together in terms of how things could improve for built environment leaders more specifically. So I started mapping out what it is that had worked in my career. And I started talking to other leaders about what it is that they felt were the strong points and the weak points. And then I started looking to other industries and, like I said, reading up on other experts and things like this. And out of this came a very strong blueprint for a book. And so once I had the idea in my head that I could write a book, I decided to do it as quickly as I could in order to not talk myself out of it. And it was a very cathartic process, but it enabled me to really lay out a framework. And I've received some really, really positive feedback on the book. But one of the things that was potentially something to build on as I was hearing from the people reading my book is that there's some really good stories in there, but we could really build on that. We want more information, like really bring these ideas to life. And so I had the idea to create a course, a 6-week course. So again, quite a short, sharp means to skim across the surface on what is it that makes a successful leadership framework in order for you to lead more effortlessly, because I firmly believe that there's some very talented leaders out there who just need a framework, and they need the right support mechanisms around them in order to lead more effortlessly and create the project outcomes that we're all desiring. So project outcomes that aren't riddled with compromise, project outcomes that don't have this incredibly arduous, horrible journey, in fact, to get there. So I think we need to redefine what success in a project is. And in my mind, it's not just the end product, it's the process of getting there. And it's also about making sure that the right leaders and the right people are associated with the project and that they are nurtured and developed and supported throughout.